Alright guys, Combat Saturday. Today's topic, what we're looking at is you need to always be one step ahead of the game. Alright? So what we're looking at is that you want to work off the end of the last strike and how it leads into the next one. Okay? So what I mean by that is that, oftentimes people only think about the hand going out, but then they forget this hand. So they end up opening like this. Or they end up, bringing a hand out like that, and they're opening up. They're not thinking about what's coming next, okay? Because you always have to think that your opponent is going to hit back at you, okay? You're not just going to stand there and take your shots, all right? You're not just going to have this like a punching bag who's not going to move, okay? Your opponent will move, okay? So you always have to be one step ahead, and you always have to think about what's coming next, and you have to, defend and move accordingly, okay? So, in the book, I explain how attack and defense are kind of one concept. You have to always think that every attack has a defense built into it, and every defense is done to set up your next attack, your counter, okay? So, when I say work off the end of the last strike, okay, as an example, let's do some boxing, okay? Now let's say I just threw out my jab here, okay? Well, I'm gonna hold it for a second, okay? And then I'm gonna throw out the rear hand, okay? So as I did that, you see, the rear hand or the lead hand has to come back to guard. Here has to come back to guard, okay? And then let's say I want to do a shovel hook down here, okay? Well, again, I'm going to be here. Okay, how can I do that? I don't want to, bring it down and open up, right? I'm going to go right from here, okay? Right from here. See? So then I'm here. What's next? Okay, see now from the end of this shot, right? Boom, right? This shot now. I know that I have to work off there, right? So you want to take each shot you do, and you want to make sure that you're covered properly, and the body's loaded correctly, and you're balanced, so you have the right energetics, and you're also covering yourself, okay? And doing this will force you to think about the other hand too. You're not only thinking about the hand going out, you're thinking about the one coming back as well, which is just as important. Okay, because maybe even more so, because the one out is already out there, but this one's coming back. Okay, so when you bring it back, it's like if this is your castle door here, okay, and you send someone out there, something else has to guard it when it comes back. Okay, it's here, okay, all right, and that's there's a drill I'm going to show you in a second, which helps to develop this skill as well. But you always want to think that you always want to make sure that your doors and your windows are closed before you start moving. All right, because that's when things happen, when people start moving, but they have all kinds of openings everywhere. Okay, and then you get in trouble. Okay, so by working off the end of the last hit, right, then you know to you know that you can't just ignore it. Like here, when I went low, the other hand came off. See, so here, let's say I'm off the end of the last punch. I want to do a rear to the body, right? See, see, so you know that you have to you have to bring the hand back to guard and things, right? Okay, and then say I want to turn. Okay, so. There, turn. There, turn. See, so always working on the end of the last technique. Okay. Now there's a method I'm going to show you. It's called a two-step method, and this is from Bagua. And this is a good way that you can use any strike, and you're always aware of your surroundings. It forces you to think about your surroundings, and it forces you to do little parries and things because you're changing directions and changing angles and positions and things. Okay, so I'm going to change the angle of the camera, okay, the position, and then I'll show you what it's about, okay? Okay, so this is the two-step method, all right? Actually, let me just angle the camera down a little bit more. Here you can see my feet better. Okay. So what we're doing is that we're stepping around a box here, okay? And you can either pivot or you can backstep, all right? And what we're doing is that we're just changing positions repeatedly. And because we're doing that, you know, you have to be aware of your surroundings and you have to make sure that you're covered and things, okay? Now, Bagua is a system which is well suited and designed for multiple opponents, against multiple opponents, okay? So there will be a lot of pivoting and backstepping and snaking around and things. That's the nature of the system, okay? So this is south, this is west, north, and east, okay? So I'm gonna, and then of course southwest, northwest, northeast, and southeast, okay? So I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna go 1, okay? Now there's 2 ways of doing it, either stepping or pivoting, like I mentioned, okay? This is the pivoting one first. It's actually a combination of stepping and pivoting. So I just step here to southwest. I go here to northwest. Now I turn my foot out a little bit as I pivot to northeast. I step to southeast and then I pivot to southwest, okay? Now I go the opposite way. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and back, okay? So sometimes what you can do is you can take a little extra, like a kind of a micro step, okay? So I'm doing the same thing again. I go 1. I take a little micro step. 2, I take a little micro step. 3, a little step. 4, a little step, and 5, okay? All right, and you can add a technique with that little step too, okay? So now I'm gonna show you how that works when we're using hands, okay? Now I'm just gonna use a like a dragon strike here, just like out there. So you can use that as like a face strike or a throat grab or throat crush. You can grab with that, okay? We're just gonna do that, but I'll show you, and it's gonna be done with the lead hand, but I'll show you how it all fits together, okay? So, right here, 1, okay? I go, so 1. Now, I wanna go there. So, I parry. I come down. I parry. Come to me, I grab the arm here. As I put my foot out, right? Boom. Okay, now this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, so then you have to always be aware. You don't want to leave anything open. You see, so I'm here. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now, even when I change direction, again, I'm not just turning blindly. I have to turn with some defense. So I just finished this. I come, boom. There's a little parry there. As I come around, I do this kobu with my foot, toeing in, right? Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? You see how you have to be aware of your surroundings. So if I'm coming here, I assume something is coming at me from here. So I parry it out of the way. Then I go here. Now something's coming at me from here, right? Get it out of the way here. They're capturing straight here. Boom, 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 right? Whoa. Boom, 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 and so you're always aware of your surroundings. At no point are you leaving anything open, okay? You always have to be aware of that, okay? Now the other way of doing it is with the backstepping, okay? The similar idea, only instead of pivoting, we're backstepping, okay? So what the footwork is I'm going 1, 2, that's the same, but now here, I turn foot in this way, and I do a little backstep. Go here, and I backstep. See, so it's a bit different. But it's still going to be the same principles as far as the hands go, but it's backstepping now. So with the previous one, I went here, and I pivoted, okay? Well, now I'm gonna be backstepping, okay? So it's you know, a different you know, body mechanics, okay? But they're both important, okay? You might need a pivot sometimes. You might need a backstep sometimes. So practice both methods, okay? So if I'm doing the same thing that the tiger dragon strike there, okay? Well, I'm gonna go 1, okay? Now this doesn't change. 2. Now when I come around this side, I go, whoa! I turn my foot in, but I have this hand guard me. So I go here, whoa, and then boom, boom. See? So I come around, whoa, and make a strike. So if I was to do that in a zigzag footwork pattern, I go whoa, guard, here, guard, strike, guard, strike. You always have, it's like a snake hand here. Snake hand here, strike here. Okay, and that's another thing that you can do as well, just a zigzag stepping, okay? So I can do it in a line. I just go like 1, 2, 3. I can step as well. 1, 2, 3. Then put them together. The pivot one or the backstep one. So you go 1, cover, 2, turn around, defend, 3, cover, turn around, defend. See? Again, when I finish here, right? I just finish here. I turn around to defend, and then I can extend forward. Okay. So you see, these drills like this are very useful because it teaches you a body awareness, your positioning, and it also forces you to look at things under the microscope, and you can look at it and say, okay, am I leaving anything open? Am I, you know, am I all right? Am I, you know, am I turning blindly? You know, do I have everything covered up? Okay, you have to look at these things, all right? And that's the thing. And so, you know, I was just doing some training yesterday with Sifu Paul, and you know, we're doing different scenarios and things like always. And as usual, we begin with one set scenario and then one set drill, and then it'll change into something else, and the other person has to respond to it. Okay, and that's the test. It's a more advanced form of training because you have to have a certain level of skill and awareness to do that. But that's what we do, okay? And a lot of the techniques work simply because your hands are in the right place, okay? Like, I mean, you know, we would do these scenarios, and 5 seconds later, I couldn't tell you what I did or what he did. I don't know. I just know that I ended up being in a good position, all right? But I don't. It's hard to say how I got there. You know, to try to reconstruct it in my mind, I can't really do it, okay? But it worked. I did it, okay? Because when you do these reps thousands and thousands of times, and you're aware of your surroundings, you're aware of your own body, you're you know, aware of your positioning and things. Your hands are in the right place. You don't have bad hands that are opening up, okay? You always know that you've got that hand there. You know, the thing is, you know, you don't have to actually think about it. It just kind of happens, all right? And that's really the goal, okay? You have to have this instinctive, okay? And that's the thing, you know, if you think about it, if you have to think about it, it's too late already. It has to just happen. It's got to be automatic, okay? That's the thing. It has to be reflex. If I throw a ball at you, okay, you're not just going to think, oh, what should I do? Should I catch with this hand? Should I bring my arm up here? Okay, you're just going to catch it. You're not going to think about all the different mechanics on you're just going to you're just going to catch it. It depends on where it lands, whatever, but you're just going to catch it, okay? It's instinctive, okay? Do you have to psych yourself up and focus on walking or eating dinner? Okay, it's just something you do, right? So that's the idea. Okay, anyways, you want to make these good habits, okay? Always keep all your doors and windows closed, okay? Guarded, okay? All right, so as always, any questions, let me know, and see you guys soon, okay?